Now, who doesn't love a bargain? Today, we're going to be looking at buying reconditioned goods for the home. Are they a smart, budget-friendly choice, or are there significant high risks which just outweigh those benefits? Today, I'm going to take you through my top 5 pros and cons of buying reconditioned second-hand items, and I'm also going to share some of my personal experiences which should hopefully help you make up your mind. So let's talk about the first pro or positive point of why you would consider buying a used or reconditioned item for the home, and that's of course the price. Now, in the few occasions that I've actually purchased reconditioned items, I've roughly paid around 50% of the RRP. So for example, I've just bought a brand new higher iPro series washing machine which retails at just under £500, and I paid a bargain basement price of £237, which was actually including delivery. Number 2 on the list is obviously the environmental impact. Now arguably it could be placed at number 1 because the amount of items that get sent to the dump every year is absolutely astronomical. So let me just dig these figures out because I'm not going to remember this off the top of my head. So it said last year, this is on Google, last year 41.8 million tonnes of so-called e-waste. So that's things like fridges, washing machines and other domestic appliances, hoovers and all that sort of stuff, TVs, come to the end of their life and they were dumped, just simply dumped, so sent to landfill and dumped. So it's almost 42 million tonnes. So by reducing that waste and reusing these items and recycling them, we're not only giving them a new lease of life, but we're reducing that impact on the environment. It's not only the landfill impact that we have, but also the cost of the manufacturing. So all around, in terms of the whole life cycle of that, from landfill to, redoing those items and remanufacturing them back to the open market, is a massive thing if we can step in and reuse those items. So number 3 on the list is that it's been thoroughly tested. Now, what happens in this whole process is somebody will buy an item like a washing machine or a hoover or a fridge, brand new from a retailer. Now, obviously, when you buy something brand new, it has a warranty period. So if that item develops a fault within that period, the customer is most likely to send it back. Now, that company, that retailer, will take that on and they'll either refurb it themselves or they'll sell it on to a third-party company that may also do the same. Now, what happens during the refurb is that the product is restored to a like-new standard. So it has to meet all the original specifications that the manufacturer set out. So that has to go through that rigorous protocol of inspection in order to pass it to be able to resell it on. So number 4 is the ability to access higher end items. Now, when you set yourself a budget, you're looking at items that are all pretty much got the same sort of capabilities. And that's what's happened to me. I'd set myself originally around £300 to £350 for a washing machine, and they were all pretty much entry-level bog standard machines. By going down the refurbished route, what's actually happened is I've been able to level up by about 2 or 3 levels. So I've now got a Pro Series touchscreen, direct motor driven, which is super ultra quiet with loads of other capabilities in it for less than I was actually willing to spend on a bog standard entry level model. Number 5 is warranty options. Now, just because it's second hand and it's used doesn't mean that it's like it or lump it. A lot of these items, when you're buying them from companies especially, do come with warranties. So it's something that you need to just double check, but the item that I've just purchased, for example, does come with a 1-year warranty, which offers peace of mind when you're buying a refurbed item. So let's get on to the cons, or the negative points of what could put you off and the potential risks of buying a refurbed or reconditioned item. And the first one has got to be its reliability. Now, that is something that I actually faced when I purchased this machine, this higher iPro series washing machine. The first example of that I took stock of the other week was absolutely a nightmare. My first inspection, I took off the back door, and inside the appliance didn't look too bad because it was still relatively new. However, it looked like it had been well used, and all of the screws on the outside, to take that back door off, the first hint to me that this machine was going to be a problem was some of the screws were different. which told me that that back door had been off multiple times. Now, what happened when I plugged that machine in, it came up with an error code. It just went doolally. So straight away, the great thing was I got in touch with a company and dropped me off a new machine the same week. So number 2 on the list is potentially a shorter lifespan. Now, if you think of a life cycle of an appliance, it's got a certain amount of years that it's meant to function before it's due to sort of hit that scrap heap and go into that 42 million tonne landfill statistic. Now, if you can imagine within that life cycle, that lifespan, if that machine's already had 1 or 2 years within that warranty period and gets returned, it's already had 1 or 2 years of being used, which opens it up for the risk of potentially having further issues that could arise beyond the original repair that has just been done to sell it back onto the market. So limited or reduced lifespan compared to something that's brand new off the shelf. So the next one is aesthetically, it could not be up to scratch, or it could be or have a scratch. Like my washing machine had a flipping scratch right down the front door. Now, that is the thing when you're buying a refurbed or reconditioned item. Usually they could be seconds or ex-display models, or the family or the person that's owned it has not really looked after it to the best of their ability, and so you're going to get it in that condition that might have the odd ding or scratch or something on there, so it doesn't come to you in pristine. You know, when you get that new appliance and you open it up and it's like, ta-da! You know, there could be some little items, some little things, digs and scratches that the previous owner's not taken care of, and then you have to put up with that as a second-hand reconditioned item. So number 4 on the list is limited availability. Now, if you've set your heart on a specific item and it's really popular and you're waiting to get it at that bargain basement price as a reconditioned item, 9 times out of 10 there's going to be other people out there just like you, and so supply can't keep up with the demand, and so you could be waiting around for ages to get that item in that condition that you're after, just because they're not coming through as quick as the demand is asking for. Number 5 on the list is the limited warranty. So you could be looking at a reduced or more limited warranty on your reconditioned item than you would get if you bought something new off the shelf. Usually when you get an item brand new, you're looking at something like a 3-year warranty, and sometimes you can extend it to a 5-year warranty. Whereas if you're buying a reconditioned item, you're usually just going to get a 1-year warranty item. But do check your specifics to see what you're getting and if there's the ability to increase that warranty period if you just want that for your peace of mind. So these are my top tips if you're looking to buy a reconditioned or refurbished item. First on the list is research your item thoroughly. Know what it is you're looking at, know what its capabilities are, and look to see what its market value is to see if you're getting a fair deal and a good price. Number 2, when you get the item or you go inspect the item, check it over thoroughly. For something like the washing machine where it was delivered to my home, the first thing I did was take the back off. I wanted to see inside that machine what sort of condition it was in. So having a thorough check of that item that you're buying is a good indication on whether or not that particular item is worth the money. Number 3, if you're buying privately or not just reconditioned from a company, but you're buying second-hand from a person, ask about the item's history. How long have they owned it? Are they the only owners? What's the reason for selling the item? Number 4 on the list is check the return policy. Is it sold as seen with no returns? Or are the company offering, if it's a company that you're buying it through, are they offering free returns up to a certain period of time? And make sure that it's operating as it should do so that you can return it if needed within that returns period. If you're buying second-hand and it's from a private seller, don't be afraid to negotiate. They're wanting to get rid of that item and you're wanting to buy it, but you're in the better buying power. You've got the ability to go elsewhere, whereas they're stuck with that and they need it gone. So don't be afraid to push for a little bit extra off and get yourself an extra bit of a bargain. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider subscribing and giving it a thumbs up. That would really help me out as I'm trying to grow my channel. So my channel really isn't about washing machines and home appliances. It's usually about motorcycles, travel, adventure and how-tos. And this obviously delves into a little bit of the how-tos because sometimes I like to throw things in there that are happening in my everyday life that I think will help people out. So if this has helped you out or you think it's going to help someone else out that you know, please do consider sharing it, liking and subscribing. So in the meantime, all that's left for me to say, because usually this is a motorbike channel, is safe riding, safe driving, happy adventures, and I'll see you in the next one.